guys, to our webinar on startups and entrepreneurship. I also would like to thank all the guests for giving us their time to give their and share their experience to all the students. Nepalese Student Association is an student-run organization in UTA, which works for the welfare of students and help them excel while they are in college. And also try to promote Nepalese culture. And as a part of our motto, we have come up with this event, webinar series. It's going to be a fortnightly series where we would bring UT alumni and other people from different professional backgrounds to give insight into how is it like to be in a professional field, like how to be an entrepreneur, how to get over depression, how to join a graduate studies, that sort of stuff. We'll have all those covered in all the webinar series. And today we're especially focusing on startups and entrepreneurship. And we have Ms. Aisa Oja, Ms. Sadha Shrestha, and Mr. Blake Rowley as our guests. We'll be having a 15-minute presentation from each of our guests, and we will have a question and answer session towards the end. So I would like to thank you everyone for joining again, and I'd like to hand over to Ms. Palisha to continue further with the program. Thank you.
Thank you, Shishir. Hello and welcome everyone again. To start with our presentations, first we have Aisha Oja. I call her Aisha. I've known her ever since I was in the States, and she is an entrepreneur of the Mandala and I Code colony, and she graduated in master's degree of social work from UTA in 2017. And welcome, Aisha, and thank you so much for joining us today. And we're very much excited to hear from you and see what you have to present regarding entrepreneurship and startups. And I would like to pass it on to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Felicia. Hi, everybody. My name is Aisha. Like Felicia just said, a little bit about myself. I moved to the United States when I was in 7th grade. So this was about 2008 with my family, and we lived in Irving. I think everybody starts from Irving, or most of us did anyways. So I also started from Irving, and I went to middle school, high school, and college here. I went to UTA for my bachelor's and my master's. I was the first female president of NSA UTA in 2016. So it's awesome to see that after me, there have been so many girls who carried the legacy on. And I think NSA UTA is doing a very amazing job right now. And I'm very proud of all of you guys. Can I request something? I don't like talking to people. Right now, I feel like I'm talking to myself because I don't see anybody. Can I see your faces? If you guys are comfortable, can we do that?
Sure.
Of course.
Yes, thank you so much. Because right now it feels like I am just talking to myself. Okay, great. So entrepreneur is not easy. Think of it as a coin. So each coin has two sides, right? Heads and tails. The heads is what you see outside. That's the fame, that's the glory that you guys see, that's the Instagram, that's the, oh, it's got the business talk, all of that, right? And then the tails is where the actual reality is. That's where all the sadness, all the crying, all the long nights, all of the fighting, and all of the, this and that. So it's not easy to be an entrepreneur, but it's not as difficult as some people might make it seem, if that makes sense. Number one thing that you need in order to really be an entrepreneur or to work for yourself is, I think you need to have guts. That's the first thing that you're going to need. When I started my businesses, nobody supported me, not even my parents. right? Mandala. So a little bit of Mandala. Mandala is a dance school in Irving. We actually had two locations, but we had to shut down one of the locations because of COVID. Our lease ended, and I didn't want to renew my lease. So my parents were like, dance school after you get a master's, what the heck, right? And keep in mind that my background is not business. I did social work, I did mental health, right? So for me to go from a mental health working as a school counselor to opening my own business and stopping to work, my parents went crazy, right? But I still kept going. And yes, there were fights. There were a lot of arguments. But guess who are the top two fans of my Facebook page right now for Mandala? My parents, right? So I think like culturally, our parents are very scared when we try to do something out of the norm, right? Business khulne bane, which is a very scary thing because a lot of the parents want the 9 to 5, a lot of like the 401k benefits, the PTO. It sounds really good. And in business matter 24/7. I went to a Post Malone concert and I had to go back to my business. I had to stop in the middle and I had to go back, right? So 24/7 you need to be available, okay? So that's something that you need to be able to do to start your own startup. Another thing is determination. um So I want to go to, everybody wants a good, healthy, fit body, right? But how many people actually put in the work for it? Not everybody puts in the work for it, right? So business is the same way. Whatever you put in is what you get. Whether you're going to stay home, be on your phone, whether you're going to, you know, even if you're on your phone, if you're watching TikTok, or actually TikTok is a very, very good business. I get a lot of my strategies from TikTok. Just for those people who think TikTok is not good, it's actually pretty good. You just need to know which content to watch. So think about determination, but ekdam matter garcha, okay? Timle, I want to open a business. Everybody comes up with ideas. There have been other dance schools around, but did they last? No, because they didn't know how to do it. They didn't have the determination. So तिमीले जुन business start गरे पनि, if somebody has already started it, make that your foundation. Learn from them and do better. That's what we need to do. That's what I did, right? So तिमीले अब next कुरा चाहिँ हैन, school is important, but like I said, I went to school for social work. I found my passion. My passion is to work with kids. I took that passion and I made it something that I own and I love to do. So business has not been about making money for me. It has been about following my passion. Will I make money along the way? Awesome if I do. Will I not? At least तिमीले आफूले business भयो भने बित्तिकै तिमीले every day like then like you're gonna be a millionaire. That's not true, guys. Whatever you put in is what you get, like I said, right? So तिमीले business खोलेर अब भोलि नै म मालामाल, some cases legal ways, there are ways, but we don't want to go that way, right? So तिमीले स्कुलमा जे पढेछ नि, you don't have to do that, okay? मैले स्कुलमा master social work पढेँ, mental health and substance abuse, and I got my experience and I did something by myself, right? So I know a lot of you feel like engineering students, or especially I think you guys have this tendency to graduate, get an internship, and then go and start a 9 to 5 job, right? And you don't have to make your side hustle anymore. Okay? The market is so big now that side hustle can be your main hustle, as long as you're ready to put in the work for it. Felicia, you do architecture, right? So
Architectural engineering.
so maybe one day, just in the experience there, you can open up your own firm, right? So don't be scared to take that step. Okay, to like, it's either you get stuck somewhere because you were so scared. Like whenever the older Tani, one of my biggest fear when I turned older is regret. I don't want to regret anything. I don't want to say, oh man, मैले त्यो स्कुलको जब छोडेर मैले why didn't I continue my dance school? Like I don't want that regret. Okay, and I hope that you guys don't want it too, and don't let that fear control your mind so much that you don't take that step that you need to get somewhere in your life. So कलेजमा जे पढ्यो त्यही काम गर्न पर्छ भन्ने छैन. You can do whatever the heck you want to do as long as you actually put in the work for it. Number 4, networking. So go to school not for GPA, for networking. तिम्रो network राम्रो भयो भने you don't even need your 4.0 GPA which we strive for. That's nothing to me. And so, like, I don't care if you have whenever I hire people here, I don't care if you had a 4.0. I look at your personality, I look at how much you can talk to people, I look at your marketing skills. So that's something that I think all of us need to be very, very careful about. I mean, school ma 18 credit later, we don't join social clubs, we don't do anything, and we're always about studying, and then interview time you're so nervous to talk, right? So make sure that the school is हाम्रो कन्सेप्टमा चाहिँ स्कुल भनेको चाहिँ जागिर पाउने एउटा ठाउँ तर स्कुल भनेको एजुकेसन र एक्सपिरियन्सको लागि हो नि त इट्स नट फर यु टु बी एबल टु गेट अ जब एटलिस्ट मेरो उसमा चाहिँ सो आई होप you guys will really network. And tell your friends too. A lot of the people who come from Nepal, उनीहरूलाई थाहा पनि हुँदैन क्या हुन्छ नि how important networking is. So make sure whatever you know, make sure you tell them as well. Commitment is a very, 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 very important topic when it comes to starting up your own business. तिमीले नि एउटा business दुईचोटि create गर्छौ क्या एकचोटि तिम्रो दिमागमा create गर्छौ अनि एकचोटि तिमीले real life मा create गर्छौ क्या सो तिम्रो त्यो दिमागमा जुन business छ नि how committed are you to turn that into something real, right? Nobody can answer that question but you. Nobody can. I cannot do it. Shraddha, nobody can do it, right? So तिमीले आफ्नो commitment लाई there are going to be so many people who are going to say ए यो त हुँदैन ए यो त हुनै सक्दैन मलाई डान्सको खोज्दाखेरि को आउँछ हुन्छ नि यस्तो क्वेशन्सहरु पनि थियो क्या तर we had like 150 kids so we did really good just Nepali kids, right? So खुट्टा तान्ने मान्छेहरु or हुन्छ not even खुट्टा तान्ने I think those people are so limited in their thoughts that उनीहरुको personal कुरा चाहिँ तिमीहरुले reflect गरिरहेछ क्या. Does that make sense? Like you want to do something but you ask somebody and they say hey yo ta hudaina bhanyo it's not you get it's them reflecting their thoughts on you. So don't ever let these negative people get into your life or get into anything that you are trying to do. At the same time you need to be able to understand that failures pani huncha business ma and not everything you try is going to be successful. I tried doing a spring camp last year. Very bad idea. COVID. Spring camp March 15th and the very, very bad idea. We had like 2 enrollments, but even like Mola and Afla personally, I didn't feel comfortable doing it. So we ended up canceling it. And so learn from those mistakes, right? So timle aba just because timro idea tha bhane bittiki idea ta sabaiको हुन्छ के everybody has that idea that you got somebody else probably had that in their head. तर तिमीले चाहिँ कसरी त्यो आइडियालाई how are you going to turn it, and if you do turn it how are you going to be better than other people? That's the main I think like drive that मलाई चाहिँ that's what I feel like. How अनि मेरो businesses-हरु children-सँग mostly related छ, right? Children and women. I didn't start my business because I wanted to make money. I started it as a social service. Nepali, I grew up here. I grew up in Nepal and here. So I'm 12 years old. When I came here, I found that there is a gap between Nepali culture and American culture. When I started teaching in schools here, I realized how behind our Nepali kids are. I opened Mandala. iCode Colony is a coding school for kids, right? So Mandala is more of a recreational place, more of a life skill place. And iCode is more of an academic place, right? For them to learn about coding. Literally age 6 months they're learning coding. Okay? Like हाम्रो grandparents भन्दा हामी कति राम्रो भएको छौं हामी भन्दा हाम्रो kidsहरु कति राम्रो हुन्छ के. So you always need to your life process is very, very evolving and you need to learn how to work with time. तिमीले तिम्रो 1920s को thoughts लिएर आएर हुँदैन. म 26 वर्ष भए अब मेरो लाइफमा बिहा गर्न पर्छ भनेर यति ठुलो उ भएको छ के you need to get married where is blah 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 blah. For females we're not just here to get married and to have kids, okay? This is for my females, if those who want to do startups. You're here, you're like freaking timi pani euta manche, okay? It's not. And whenever you look for partners, for guys and girls, this, make sure they're very, very supportive. Like number one, okay, because तिमीले जब mindfulमा peace छ नि, जब तिम्रो personal life peaceful छ नि, then only you can focus more on your professional life. Okay, so anything that has to do with business, tiम्रो personal relationship with your parents, with your partner, with your friends, anything that's going to affect you and your business, you need to make sure, you need to try your best to make sure that it's going good. Does that mean that everything's going to be perfect? No. But you see that one person who's not as supportive of your plans, that's a red flag. You need to like run away from there right away. Right? So यस्तो कुराहरु तिमीले एकदमै याद गर अनि स्टार्टअपको लागि चाहिँ मेन कुरा चाहिँ रिसर्च हो. Research and networking. Tiम्रो company register गर्नेदेखि लिएर you need to find a good CPA, you need to find a good मेरो चाहिँ के भयो भन्दाखेरि when I volunteered at NSD, all of these guys who were like very good businessmen, they were the ones who were my network. So I would call them up, hey dai city ko ke गर्ने हो, hey dai blah 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 blah, and I wasn't afraid to ask questions. Okay, that's something like when you're afraid to ask questions, that's going to hold you back so much, because तिमीले आफ्नो त्यो question तिमीले त्यतिखेर answer गरेनौ भने तिमीले कहिले पनि answer पाउँदैनौ के त्यसको. So right there and there is what you need to do, and you don't let anything hold you back. And if there is anything that like we can do, I think anybody on the screen right there, I'm pretty sure we're very supportive. So let me know. And other than that, oh, and whatever business you're trying to open, you need to understand your audience. So तिमीले आफ्नो दिमागमा मलाई के चाहिन्छ भनेर हैन, तिमीले आफ्नो audience-लाई चाहिँ उनीहरुलाई के चाहिन्छ, and how do I deliver that to them at a good price, because all of us like good price. And show them why do they need to join, why Mandala, why iCode, why NSA UTA, right? You need to be able to tell them that this is what we're going to offer. A lot of people are comfortable हुन्छ क्या आफ्नो जुन जोनमा बसिरहेछ नि, म घरमा चिलसँगले नेटफ्लिक्स हेरेर बसिरहन्छु भने म किन काम गर्ने, त्यो हुन्छ क्या. So you need to be able to pull those people and show them that this is why you need to do it. So timro business ma pani same concept. Pull those people and tell them this is why you need to join whatever you're doing. I think that is all that I have. And yeah, thank you for listening.
Thank you, Aisha Di. Next, Shishir, you can go on with the program.
Thank you, Aisha Didi, for your wonderful words and exciting experiences, and seeing someone like who was in NSA UTA, who was in UTA and who has gone through our phase and like did something and good. It's really inspiring for us, and I hope it inspired every one of us here. And if you have any questions, do comment on the section. We'll address all those questions towards the end. Next up, we have Mr. Blake Ruwali, who is a very young and energetic entrepreneur who is the founder of Takio.ai, which is a privately owned AI cloud implementation and computing technology formed in 2019. I would like to hand over to Mr. Blake Ruwali, sir, to tell more about Takio.ai and more about himself. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. So this is Blake Ruwali. So I'm a founder and CEO of Takio. So we provide big data implementation, cloud, and system integration services. We also provide consulting services. So we started back in 2019. And for the last 2 years, as a Microsoft partner, we have worked with varieties of clients. And to tell you a little about my story, I actually came to the United States in 2016. I'm a business major. I initially was not in IT at all, right? But later on, I saw that there's a tremendous opportunity in IT, and I actually jumped into the industry in 2019. And over the last 2 years, I've had got a tremendous amount of chance to work and collaborate with many companies during this time. And but before we go about the startup and entrepreneurship, I would like to ask if a lot of people here already have idea maybe on mind to start a business or not, because I actually prepared a presentation deck, uh, mainly focused for those people who actually already have some idea in mind. So is anybody here like already interested in having a startup or already running a startup?
I can start another startup.
Because I don't
Well,
want
I do. Yeah, I do have a robotics team who works in Nepal, and we're thinking of doing something, but not so professional yet. But I surely want to hear how to go about like getting into the professional field.
okay, so it looks like we have some interest. So I'm gonna potentially share my screen and go about that um, with my presentation. So let me know when you guys are able to view my screen.
We can see it now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So actually, through my presentation, I mainly want to focus on the most important part of any startup, which is the pre-launch phase. So I wanted to also give some insights on what a founder can do if there are no investors with them. And at the same time, I also wanted to give some tips on proper value proposition for the client and value framework that actually uh, works for a long-lasting business. Um, so in startup, like everybody of you already know, we have three different phases. So we have formation phase where actually the founders come together to see if there's a problem that is worth solving, and there's like infinite amount of problem that's worth solving, and try to see if the solution that they propose actually works well. Um, and then we have validation phase where actually minimum viable product is made, and then it is reiterated to actually make a long-lasting product that actually has a product market fit. And also in the last phase, we have scaling, where we actually scale the business up based on the current, the sales that's already been going on by optimizing different business model and stuff. Um, so, but the most important phase is the formation phase, obviously. And for any business to be successful, like already mentioned by Ms. Oza, right? So there has to be some societal impact of whatever you are doing. Like like there's actually an article written by Hemant Taneza in Harvard Business Review, right? What it says is, if you look into the companies that has been built in last 50 years, you'll find out that none of the business was profit centric has ever survived during this time. And um, and if you look at Takio's mission, our mission is building on our technologies and competences and creating value for our customers to be the most innovative company in the world. So unless you have mission, vision, and strategy of a business that's focused around solving a problem that to help improve and impact the society by providing a solution to a problem, then the startup is not probably not gonna last for a long time. And like if you guys are looking to have your own startup, I would recommend that you have a good founding team in place. Like a lot of people out there are solopreneur like myself. Like when I started my business Takio 2 years back, I started it alone. But I found that doing a business alone is very difficult task, and I would have done much better if there was 2 to 4 other founders with me. And another option is to ask the mentor. I would say that's very important. When you start a business, you don't know a lot of stuff, right? So if you already have a hold of someone who has actually done it in the past, it things becomes much easier. And actually, not just for suggestion and tips, but also for funding. So one of the examples that I can give is when I first started my startup. At that time, I had hired a guy from my previous school that I graduated from, And he actually went about to found his own company called Pseudodeps, and they provide the same services as I provided, but using in different market in Nigeria, from Nigeria. And actually, I was the one who actually provided them tips for their business to be successful when they got a huge project. So asking for help can always actually do better compared to doing things by own self. Because ultimately we have already gone through this phase, right? And we are definitely in the position to provide good recommendation to the new start, for new founders. And the other consideration I would say is to plan a great, have a great plan in place. There has to be a plan for minimum viable product. There has to be a significant plan for launch, and the startup founder has to know their audiences, the problem they're about to solve, and also they need to have some sense of identity so that they can actually be in a better position compared to their competitors. And all of this has to be validated time and again, because our society currently is very dynamic. It's changing in a huge pace. And the problem that we have currently, and the customers, our customers currently have, changes in a huge pace. And it is very important for any startup to actually validate the problem. Their solution to the problem is actually still working. And other than this, I also wanted to, in this particular session, I also wanted to give some tips for people who actually want to start a business, but they don't have any funds. And there's three ways to do that. I would say first way is to actually first save up a fund for around 6 months of expenses, and try to stick to the core purpose of the business, the core problem that you are about to solve. Because ultimately, if you do a lot of things at the same time, you burn your cash pretty easily, and actually you don't have enough cash to even solve the main problem you are about to solve. The second recommendation is actually, we don't need a physical location nowadays. You can do a tremendous amount of social media marketing, and you can have a great online presence, and that should be enough for you to sell enough product or services that you provide to your customers, so that you have enough money to actually have some physical presence as well. And the third recommendation is you can actually ask your customers to pay early. Actually, one of the example that I can give is I was working with a restaurant POS software company, and they actually didn't have their product design until they actually got 10 different restaurants to actually prepay them $1,000 each. And using the $10,000 of funds, they build the product and then use that product to actually they implemented that product for those restaurants. So if you don't have funding, prepayment is a good option. And even more than that, all of us want to start a business, but there are a lot of limitations or a lot of difficulty in that. And maybe it could be a good idea if you first become functional or domain expert in the field, especially in IT. I've seen that coming from business background, I've seen that if I had some expertise in IT beforehand, then it would have been a lot easier for me. And also, if you let's say you work in IT for 4 or 5 years, and IT field is very lucrative, right? You can have enough money saved up to fund your startup as well. And at the same time, when you are developing your expertise, you can also cultivate the audience around what you want to do. That way, these people can actually be your future customers when you actually launch your product in the future. But when it comes to startup, we have infinite complexity in this world, right? And there's infinite number of problem and infinite number of solutions. So maybe if you have a great idea that you think will have societal impact through the problem that you're solving, maybe a good idea would be to actually just go for it. And whatever problems that you face, you can definitely, if you have great idea and great product, you can definitely solve. Um, and with this particular presentation, I've also provided 100 sort of task list um, to the UTA team, right? So you can use that resources if you are about to start your startup. It's a checklist of 100 different tasks you have to complete before you actually launch your startup. And also one resource, another resource that I recommend is Y Combinator. Like if you have a very innovative startup idea, then you can use the resources to fund your, I mean, to start your startup. So um, having said that, please feel free to reach out to me or any of the people, all the presenter here. I'd love to help you out and possibly provide you tips and suggestion. And potentially, I do know a lot of VCs as well who can actually fund your business. I'd love to help you out if you guys have great ideas and you guys are solving great problems.
Thank you, Black Guy. Like Aisha Didi also said, like we Nepalese have like a technological gap when it comes to like technology. The kids over here like they're studying coding and all at like 10, 8, but like we got to get to coding in about after like high school and all, and to someone who has gone through that phase and like someone who is actually trying to lead in that sector. It's really great to see you, and we like to congratulate on what you've been doing, and it really inspires us. And whom do we have? Polisa next.
Thank you, Sishir. Thank you, Bliktai. That was really, really inspiring. Next up, we have Shraddha Shrestha. I have known Shraddha Di for some like couple of years now, and she is the CEO and managing director of DFW Yeti Insurance Agency LLC, and she has been doing a lot of other stuff, and she is a great, great, inspiring woman to look up to. And now I would like to hand it over to you, Shraddha Di.
Thank you, Felicia. मेरो साउन्ड भिजुअल दुइटै ठिक छ?
ठिक छ दिदी, इट्स
Okay.
क्लियर.
ओके सो अघि आइसाले भने जस्तै त्यो मान्छेहरू देखेर बोल्यो भनेदेखि चाहिँ इट्स मोर कम्फर्टेबल अनि कनेक्टेड फिल हुन्छ, त्यही भएर सकेसम्म सबैजनाले आफ्नो भिडियो इफ युआर कम्फर्टेबल है त. मैले चाहिँ एक्चुली पावर पोइन्ट ओके आई सी दिस टु पिपल यहाँ बाहिर मेरो अफिसको लबीबाट सुन्दै हुनुहुन्छ. वेलकम सुरज दाई एन्ड निलिका. See, these guys are my main supporters. My as office like so, and they are listening outside from the lobby. Thank you so much for that. So, मैले चाहिँ PowerPoint presentation बनाएको छु. तर before that, I would like to say something. And I think Sangeeta is helping me with my PowerPoint. Sangeeta is there, right?
Yes, let me know when you're ready then.
Okay, thank you so much, Sangeeta. So, Aisha did a great job. And Mr. Blake, he did a great job as well. I have known both of them quite a long time. Aisha I have known for years, and Blake Laipani, I got a chance to meet him at event ma. So दुवैजनाले most of the things cover गरिसक्नु भएको छ. अनि मैले चाहिँ त्यसमै थोरै एडअप गर्छु अनि आफ्नो पर्सनल एक्सपिरियन्सबाट चाहिँ सेयर गर्छु म एज अ लाइक हाउ आई लर्न्ड एन्ड हाउ आई डिड इट अनि लाइक वाट डिड आई डु वेन आई kind of failed त्यो सबै कुराहरू. अनि I think most of you know, म still UTMS student छु. म डिसेम्बरमा ग्रेजुएट भइरहेको छु. So I came here in F1 status अनि म still पनि student नै हो, but then I am a full-time student and also a full-time businesswoman. And beside that, I also do a radio show, 104.9 FM मा आइरहेछ. So whenever you are in your car, अब चाहिँ next time चाहिँ नेपाली गीत बज्यो भनेदेखि असम्म नमान्नु, किनभने finally after I think 4 years, अब चाहिँ नेपाली प्रोग्राम चाहिँ 104.9 मै सुन्न सकिन्छ. Beside that, I am also United Nations को Youth for Human Rights delegate for 2019 and 20. And अहिले चाहिँ आज चाहिँ I am presenting you as a CEO and Managing Director of Yeti Insurance. So Let's start why and how I started business. So normally I don't know कतिजना नेवार हुन्छ not being त्यो कास्ट बाइस हुनु खोज्दैन तर नेवारको चाहिँ ब्लडमै बिजनेस हुन्छ भन्छ होइन सो आई बिलोङ टु अ भेरी बिजनेस ब्याकग्राउन्ड मेरो बाबा पनि बिजनेसमा हुनुहुन्छ अनि आई हेभ सिन माई फादर ग्रो फ्रम अ भेरी एकदमै सानो बिजनेसबाट चाहिँ मी एन्ड माई फादर वी ग्रु टुगेदर जति जति म बढ्दै गइरहेको थिएँ मेरो फादरको बिजनेस पनि बढिरहेको थियो अनि आई गट त्यो फर्स्ट चान्स हुन्छ नि फर्स्ट चान्स एक्सपिरियन्स लिनको लागि बाबासँगै बिजनेस कसरी गर्ने हाउ यु टक टु पिपल बिजनेसलाई कसरी ग्रो गर्दै जाने अनि त्यो सबै ग्रेजुअल ग्रोथ भएको चाहिँ आई स द्याट फर्स्ट ह्यान्ड अनि जहिले पनि एउटा ब्याक अफ माइन्डमा चाहिँ सानोदेखि नै आई ह्याड दस थट म चाहिँ पछि गएर बिजनेस नै गर्छु एट द एन्ड मेरो गोल भनेको चाहिँ आई विल डु बिजनेस लाइक यो बिजनेस भनेर पर्टिकुलरमा चाहिँ थिएन तर एट द एन्ड बिजनेस चाहिँ गर्छु भन्ने थियो सो म यहाँ युएस आएँ लाइक एभ्री F1 स्टुडेन्ट हामी सबैजनाको स्टोरी एउटै हुन्छ ग्यास स्टेसन स्टोर त्यसपछि रेस्टुरेन्ट आई डिड एभ्रिथिङ अनि मेरो चाहिँ एउटा के बानी थियो भन्दाखेरि आई थिङ्क दिस इज यो चाहिँ तपाईँहरूलाई पनि युजफुल हुन्छ म चाहिँ जहाँनिर काम गर्दाखेरि पनि आई युज टु अब्जर्भ मैले सुरुमा ग्रोसरी स्टोरमा काम गरेँ अनि मैले चाहिँ त्यहाँनिर एज अ इम्प्लोइ भन्दा पनि भोलि गएर इफ आई हेभ टु स्टार्ट मेरो ग्रोसरी स्टोर मैले कसरी काम गरेँ भनेदेखि चाहिँ इट विल बी बेनिफिसियल टु मी अथवा मैले त्यहाँबाट के लर्न गर्न सक्छु कहाँबाट सामान आउँछ इन्भेन्टरी कसरी राख्छ हुन्छ नि त्यो आइडिया चाहिँ मैले त्यसरी जेनेरेट गर्थेँ त्यसपछि आई स्विच माई जब आई वर्क एज अ ज्वेलरी कार्टमा ज्वेलरीहरू बनाउनु पर्थ्यो अनि त्यसमा पनि मान्छेलाई कसरी कन्भिन्स गर्ने त आफ्नो प्रडक्ट लिनको लागि होइन त्यसरी म वर्क गर्थेँ त्यसपछि रेस्टुरेन्टमा गएँ आई लर्न सर्भिस बिजनेस लाइक कुनै सामान अथवा कुनै फुड चाहिँ तिमीलाई कुनै क्लाइन्टलाई अथवा कुनै कस्टमरलाई चाहिँ दिनु छ भनेदेखि हाउ यु डु द्याट भनेर मैले त्यहाँ लर्न गरेँ सो मेरो चाहिँ जता गइसके पछाडि पनि एउटा मोटिभ चाहिँ आई एम लर्निङ यो चाहिँ मैले गरेर फ्युचरमा मेरो कतै न कतै युज हुन्छ भन्ने एउटा ब्याक अफ द माइन्डमा चाहिँ थियो सो like I said, restaurant, grocery store, this was jewelry, and finally I came to insurance business. So मैले यो इन्सुरेन्स सुरु गर्नुभन्दा अगाडि I worked for 2.5 years इन्सुरेन्समा अनि त्यहाँनिर गइसके पछाडि चाहिँ I think like community service plus I was more passionate when I did insurance हुन्छ नि त्यो फेस टु फेस कुरा गर्ने मान्छेहरूसँग मोर लाइक स्टुडेन्टहरू धेरै हुनुहुन्थ्यो मैले डिल गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ अनि हाउ स्टुडेन्ट सफर जस्तै अब इन्सुरेन्सको कति धेरै नलेज हुँदैन हामीहरूलाई होइन अनि त्यो सिनारियोमा चाहिँ आई वाज लाइक मैले यो फिल्डमा चाहिँ आई क्यान डु इट म प्यासनेट पनि छु आई लभ टकिङ टु पिपल आई लभ कम्युनिटी सर्भिस अनि त्यसरी चाहिँ मैले काम गर्न सकेँ भनेदेखि आई थिङ्क इट विल बी बेनिफिसियल फर कम्युनिटी अनि त्यसपछि आफ्नो त छँदैछ भनेर चाहिँ आई डिसाइडेड अब चाहिँ म इन्सुरेन्स गर्छु भनेर लाइक आइसा सेड सबैजनाको दिमागमा चाहिँ एउटा आइडिया चाहिँ प्ले अराउन्ड भइरहेको हुन्छ होइन सो द्याट्स हाउ द्याट आइडिया केम टु मी अनि त्यो आइडिया आइसके पछाडि चाहिँ लाइक ब्लेक सेड जहिले पनि एउटा कम्पनी सुरु गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ इफ यु हेभ 1 2 3 मोर पिपल एटलिस्ट 3जनासम्म इट्स मोर इजियर फर यु टु डु बेटर होइन जहिले पनि एउटा टिम भएर काम गऱ्यो भनेदेखि चाहिँ इट्स इजियर अनि थ्रु आइसा आई मेट सुरज दाई हि वाज अल्सो प्लानिङ टु डु इन्सुरेन्स बिजनेस अनि हामी त्यसरी कनेक्ट भएर चाहिँ वी स्टार्टेड इन्सुरेन्स बिजनेस अनि आई हेभ दिस मेरो प्रेजेन्टेसनमा नर्मली स्टार्टअपहरू नयाँ बिजनेसहरू चाहिँ सक्सेस रेट चाहिँ धेरै हुँदैन कति स्टार्टअप चाहिँ 1 वर्षमा फेल हुन्छ कति 2 वर्षमा फेल हुन्छ अनि त्यो फेल नहुनको लागि के गर्ने अथवा कस्तो खालको माइन्डसेट राख्ने त्यो चाहिँ मैले मेरो प्रेजेन्टेसनमा भन्छु सो इट्स जस्ट अ लिटल ब्याकग्राउन्ड हाउ आई स्टार्टेड एन्ड लाइक वाइ आई स्टार्टेड भन्ने कुरामा अनि सो सबै एउटा बिजनेसको मेन मोटिभ चाहिँ पैसा भन्दा पनि कम्युनिटी सर्भिस अथवा हामीले चाहिँ जसलाई चाहिँ सर्भ गरिरहेको छ उनीहरूले चाहिँ हामीबाट चाहिँ के राम्रो कुरा पाउँछ अथवा हामी चाहिँ हाम्रो कम्पिटिटरबाट चाहिँ कसरी अलग छौँ भनेर देखाउन सक्यो भनेदेखि चाहिँ त्यो कुराले चाहिँ लङ रनमा जानलाई हामीलाई मद्दत गर्छ होइन सो अन्टरप्रेनरसिप अथवा बिजनेस वुमन अथवा बिजनेसम्यान भन्ने बित्तिकै मनी चेजर भन्दा पनि लाइक हाउ यु क्यान सर्भिस टु यर क्लाइन्ट अर कम्युनिटी त्यो सर्भिस ओरिएन्टेड भएर गयो भनेदेखि चाहिँ यु क्यान गो अ भेरी लङ वे जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई चाहिँ एन्ड आई थिङ्क मोस्ट अफ यु हेभ सेम थिङ्किङ सो सङ्गीता आई हेभ दिस प्रेजेन्टेसन सङ्गीता इज हेल्पिङ मी एकदमै अघि सबैजनालाई कभर अप गरेकै टपिक छ म अलिकति ब्रिफली मेरो एक्सपिरियन्ससँग मर्ज गरेर म सेयर गर्न ट्राई गर्छु है त सो ओके भेरी फर्स्टमा चाहिँ all it takes is one idea and a leap of faith म चाहिँ यो कुरामा एकदमै बिलिभ गर्छु होइन किनभने म एज अ F1 भएर आउँदाखेरि I was very lucky. म चाहिँ अब फेरि कतिजनाले चाहिँ F1 मा हुनुहुन्छ दिदी कसरी I mean म दिदी नै होला most of को है F1 मा हुनुहुन्छ तर कसरी बिजनेस गर्नु भयो भनेर सोचिरहनु भएको छ भने I had TPS अनि कतिजनालाई थाहा छैन होला TPS को थ्रुबाट चाहिँ there are so many things you can achieve यो हाम्रो ग्रुपमा पनि कोही TPS मा हुनुहुन्छ भनेदेखि do your research मैले चाहिँ 4 जना लयरसँग कुरा गरिसके पछाडी चाहिँ with my research very first matter I found out कि there are so many legal ways and legal loopholes you can try and figure out कसरी के गर्न सकिन्छ भनेर if you need more information you can message me हैन inbox me अनि I was student I had a job like student को वाला हैन अनि त्यसपछि एउटा आइडियाले चाहिँ अब यो चाहिँ भएन I have this idea I need to have this faith on myself अनि let's do this भनेर चाहिँ एउटा रिस्क लिए भनौँ न अनि I think I did a very good job by taking that risk पछि गएर त्यो रिग्रेट नहुने वाला अघि आइशाले भने जस्तै so next slide please okay यो अघि मैले समराइज गरिसकेको छु हैन एउटा बिजनेस सुरु गर्नको लागि रिजन चाहिँ कहिले पनि पैसा मात्र भयो भनेदेखि अथवा पैसा नै मेन भयो भनेदेखि चाहिँ त्यो बिजनेस कहिले पनि सस्टेन हुन सक्दैन हैन very first thing चाहिँ the reason to start your business I think I have like around 6 points so very first ma चाहिँ your life needs the flexibility हुन्छ नि you don't enjoy 9 to 5 कतिजना मान्छेलाई चाहिँ 9 to 5 मन पर्छ कतिजनालाई चाहिँ मन पर्दैन अनि कतिजना चाहिँ एकदमै क्रिएटिभ फ्री माइन्डेड हुनुहुन्छ यदि तपाईको लाइफमा चाहिँ मलाई चाहिँ हैन यो 9 to 5 ले चाहिँ भइराको छैन I need this flexibility जस्तो लाग्छ भनेदेखि चाहिँ yes business is for you अनि आफ्नो करियर अपर्च्युनिटी आफैले बनाउने त छँदैछ हैन त्यहाँ पोइन्ट्समा तर एट द सेम टाइम यु विल बी गिभिङ दिस इम्प्लोइमेन्ट अपर्च्युनिटी टु लट्स अफ पिपल अराउन्ड यु हामीले बिजनेस सुरु गरेको इट्स बिन 2 years एन्ड वी नाउ हेभ अराउन्ड 5 मेम्बर्स हाम्रो 5 टिम मेम्बर्स छ सो कस्तो हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि यहाँनिर चाहिँ आफ्नो करियर सँगसँगै यु विल बी एबल टु ह्याभ दोज टिम अनि त्यो टिममा पनि सबैजनाको ग्रोथको रेस्पोन्सिबिलिटी चाहिँ आफूमा आउँछ नि त सो इट्स नट ओन्ली बिल्डिङ योर ओन करियर तर आफू वरिपरि भएको आफ्नो टिमको पनि करियर बनाउन पाइन्छ एन्ड आई थिङ्क द्याट्स भेरी मलाई चाहिँ त्यो कुराले एकदमै खुसी दिन्छ अनि अर्को कुरा चाहिँ एकदमै मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेन्ट कुरा हो देयर इज डिमान्ड फर वाट यु आर सेलिङ सो कुनै कुराको चाहिँ डिमान्ड छैन भनेदेखि सप्लाई मात्र गर्यो भनेदेखि त बिजनेस सक्सेसफुल हुँदैन जस्तै ब्लेकले भने जस्तै आइटीमा एकदमै धेरै स्कोपहरू छ लाइक वी एभ्रीबडी नो द्याट त्यो भयो भनेदेखि चाहिँ यु क्यान रिसर्च एन्ड देन सी त्यसको स्कोप छ भने यु क्यान स्टार्ट द्याट बिजनेस जस्तै मण्डला इट्स अ भेरी फर्स्ट नेपाली डान्स स्कुल त्यसको पनि स्कोप थियो एन्ड देन सी स्टार्टेड मेरो इन्सुरेन्समा चाहिँ के थियो भन्दाखेरि एभ्रीबडी निड्स इन्सुरेन्स लाइक टेक्ससमा जति पनि घर छ 5 जना छ भनेदेखि 5 जनाको गाडी हुन्छ एन्ड देन दे निड इन्सुरेन्स तर एट द सेम टाइम people need good customer service मेरो one of the very important reason why I started business was म त्यो फिल्डमा थिएँ अनि I saw what's going wrong in that field अनि I realized I can make this right मैले चाहिँ यो कुरा चाहिँ मैले मेरोमा चेन्जेस लिएर आउन सक्छु यो कुराले चाहिँ मैले अलिकति इम्प्रुभ गरेँ भनेदेखि चाहिँ मेरो बिजनेस बेटर हुन्छ भनेर चाहिँ I kind of thought about it अनि त्यसपछि चाहिँ यो सबै प्लान्स आइडियाजहरू चाहिँ हामीले इम्प्लिमेन्ट गर्यौँ नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लिज Okay, so अर्को मोटिभ चाहिँ we want to help other people. I mean, यहाँनिर प्रिन्सा छ भनेदेखि I have been talking to Prinsa about NSA मा scholarship को बारेमा हाम्रो यति इन्सुरेन्स को साइडबाट अनि there are so many community services that we are doing from our business side अनि आफू अलिकति सक्षम भइसके पछाडि कम्युनिटीलाई दिन पनि सजिलो हुन्छ हैन हामीले चाहिँ हाम्रो बिजनेसबाट चाहिँ few percentage जति पनि इन्कम हुन्छ हाम्रो प्रफिट हुन्छ त्यहाँबाट चाहिँ few percentage चाहिँ कम्युनिटीमा इम्प्लिमेन्ट गर्ने अथवा कम्युनिटीमा कुनै एउटा प्रोजेक्टमा लगाउने भन्ने चाहिँ प्लान गरेको छौं अनि one of the reason बिजनेस भयो भनेदेखि चाहिँ अलिकति बुस्ट अप गर्छ किनभने when you do 9 to 5 त्यो पेचेकले आफ्नो सबै हुन्छ नि एक्सपेन्सेसहरू भ्याइरहेको कहिलेकाहीँ भइरहेको हुन्छ कहिलेकाहीँ हुँदैन इट्स जगलिङ हुन्छ नि तर बिजनेसमा चाहिँ you can have a blank check अनि you can work as much as you want अनि त्यसपछि you can have as much लाइक आइशाले भने जस्तै वर्क त गर्नु पर्यो तर काम गरिसके पछाडि त्यो ब्ल्याङ्क चेकमा कति राख्ने इट्स अप टु यु सो त्यहाँको सर्टेन पर्सेन्टेजले चाहिँ वी आर हेल्पिङ अनि बिजनेस चाहिँ त्यो एउटा मोटिभले पनि स्टार्ट गरेको थियो Like I said, want to make a difference in people's life by providing job opportunities. अनि तपाईँहरूलाई एनएसएमा त अब इन्टर्नसिप पनि गर्नुपर्छ फ्यु टाइम्स पछाडि होइन आफूले त्यो जब मार्केटमा गएर काम पाउनुभन्दा अगाडि सो फर द्याट हामीले त्यसमा पनि वर्कआउट गर्दैछौँ सो इफ यु आर बिजनेस मेजर अनि इन्टर्नको लागि इन्ट्रेस्टेड हुनुहुन्छ भनेदेखि त्यसको लागि पनि आई विल ह्याभ माई इमेल पछि यु क्यान कन्ट्याक्ट मी त्यसको लागि अनि very important, your last month, I should have made this a very first point. You have to have passion about what you are doing. Passionate छैन भनेदेखि चाहिँ जतिसुकै स्कोप होस् जतिसुकै डिमान्ड होस् you cannot succeed. अनि त्यो passion चाहिँ त्यो प्यासनले नै तिमीलाई ड्राइभ गर्नु पर्यो very first कुरा जस्तै अब आज मैले बिजनेस स्टार्ट गरेँ 6 महिनापछि मेरो त्यो प्यासन चाहिँ गयो भनेदेखि चाहिँ त्यो त रन भएन लङ टर्मसम्म सो यु हेभ टु हेभ प्यासन अनि त्यो प्यासनलाई चाहिँ अलाइभ राख्नु पर्यो जस्तै अब 9 to 5 जबमा पनि कतिजना चाहिँ 1 वर्षसम्म दे काइन्ड अफ फाइन्ड इट रमाइलो अनि बिस्तारै बिस्तारै हुँदै गइसके पछाडि लाइफ कस्तो अलिकति बोरिङ हुन्छ होइन किनभने एउटा आफूले चाहेको जस्तो अथवा आफूले गर्न खोजेको जस्तो काम भएन भनेदेखि चाहिँ त्यो जबरजस्ती गर्नु र आफ्नो भित्र मनबाट आएर गर्नु जस्तै सिसीलाई रोबोटिक्स मनपर्छ बिकज हि इज डुइङ इट विथ हिज प्यासन भनौँ न अब त्यही रोबोटिक्स मलाई दियो भनेदेखि त ममा त्यो प्यासन नहुन सक्छ अथवा पलिसा इज भेरी प्यासनेट अबाउट स्पिकिङ अबाउट द वुमन इस्यु होइन अनि त्यो कुराले चाहिँ ड्राइभ गर्छ अलि फर्दर जानको लागि सो भेरी फर्स्ट कुरा चाहिँ फाइन्ड आउट वाट्स योर प्यासन बिजनेस सुरु गर्नुभन्दा अगाडि किनभने बिजनेस र प्यासन सँगसँगै इक्वल्ली टुगेदर गयो भनेदेखि चाहिँ इट्स अ भेरी लङ रोड इट्स अ भेरी लङ वे नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लिज ओके सो बिजनेस सुरु गर्नुभन्दा अगाडि चाहिँ एउटा माइन्डसेट चाहिँ हुनुपर्छ सबैजनाको होइन त्यो माइन्डसेट चाहिँ प्रिपेयर नगरिकन चाहिँ बिजनेस वर्ल्डमा गयो भनेदेखि चाहिँ इट्स गोइङ टु बी अ डिजास्टर भन्छु म चाहिँ सो म मेरो एउटा स्टोरी सुनाउँछु मेरो आफ्नो एक्सपिरियन्स है त सो मैले चाहिँ के सोचेको थिएँ भने लाइक फर्स्टमा आइसाले भनेको छु बिजनेस गर्ने बित्तिकै त देयर विल बी लट्स अफ मनी देयर विल बी अ पेन्ट हाउस इन डाउन टाउन हुन्छ नि ठुल्ठुलो झ्याल भएको एभ्रिथिङ द्याट्स वाट आई ड्रम्ड अफ हुन्छ नि सुरुमा चाहिँ अनि त्यसपछि आई जम्प इन द बिजनेस वर्ल्ड अनि 4 महिना भइसक्यो 5 महिना भइसक्यो बिजनेस त आई मिन बिजनेसलाई ग्रो हुन एकदमै टाइम लाग्छ लाइक एउटा सानो बिरुवालाई रोप्यो भने पनि त्यो ठुलो हुन त टाइम लाग्छ नि त बिजनेस पनि त्यस्तै नै हो सो मैले चाहिँ के अज्युम गरेँ भने सुरुमा चाहिँ बिजनेस गर्ने बित्तिकै चाहिँ यो हो यस्तो हो मेरो प्लान छ मेरो यस्तो छ लाइक आई विल गेट मनी एकदमै छिटो भनेर अथवा आई विल गेट सक्सेस धेरै छिटो भनेर मैले चाहिँ त्यसरी प्लान गरेँ अनि 5-6 मन्थ्स भयो के पनि नै हुँदैन बिस्तारै आई मिन क्रलिङ फेजमा छ तर मैले एक्सपेक्ट गरेको जस्तो भएन सो त्यसपछि चाहिँ एउटा एकदमै फनी इन्सिडेन्ट चाहिँ के भयो भन्दाखेरि आफ्नो बिल्सहरू त पे गर्नु पऱ्यो होइन अनि बिल्सहरू पे गर्नको लागि चाहिँ आई युज टु हेभ अराउन्ड 3-4 जब्स लाइक पार्ट टाइम किनभने आफ्नो अफिसमा पनि टाइम दिनु पऱ्यो होइन आफ्नो बिजनेसमा पनि सो म बिहान 5 बजे होटलमा काम गर्थेँ एज अ रिसेप्सनिस्ट अनि त्यसपछि फर्केर म यहाँ अफिस आउँथेँ अनि त्यसपछि फेरि बेलुका चाहिँ मेरो एउटा कस्मेटिक के भन्छ कम्पनी थियो उसको म ओनरको चाहिँ इन्भोइसहरू पठाउने इमेल्सहरू सेन्ड गर्ने म त्यो काम गर्थेँ अनि देयर वर फ्यु अदर जब्स आई युज टु जगल अनि या आई अल्सो डिड डोरड्यास फुडहरू डेलिभर गर्नको लागि अनि एउटा पोइन्टमा गएर चाहिँ के रियलाइज भयो भनेदेखि आई ह्याड दिस सिइओको कार्ड भिजिटिङ कार्ड हुन्छ नि आफ्नो बिजनेस कार्ड तर म डोरड्यास गर्दै हिँड्न किनभने आई हेभ टु पे माई बिल्स होइन त्यो एउटा पोइन्टमा गएर चाहिँ रियालिटी चेक भयो कि ए ओके सो यु निड टु बी मेन्टली प्रिपेयर फर दिस है भने जस्तो भयो अनि आई ह्याड माई मेन्टर सुरज राई एट द्याट टाइम होइन अनि मैले उहाँसँग यो कुरा पनि सेयर गरेँ दाइ मैले त यस्तो सोचेको थिएँ तर यस्तो पो हुँदो रहेछ है मलाई जस्तो भयो भन्दाखेरि हि वाज देयर टु गाइड मी सो सी बिजनेस ग्रो हुनको लागि चाहिँ एटलिस्ट गिभ यर सेल्फ टाइम 2 वर्ष एटलिस्ट तिमीले टाइम दिनुपर्छ भनेर भन्नुभयो अनि आज मेमा चाहिँ हाम्रो बिजनेस सुरु गरेको ठ्याक्क 2 वर्ष हुन्छ अनि इट्स बिन भेरी ग्रेट जर्नी ठ्याक्क 2 इयर्समा चाहिँ वी एडेड मोर सर्भिसेस 2टा अर्को सर्भिसेस एन्ड वी आर प्लानिङ टु गो स्टेट वाइड अनि देयर आर सो मेनी थिङ्स वी अचिभड इन सर्ट स्प्यान अफ टाइम होइन तर इट टुक टाइम भनौँ न सो त्यो चाहिँ एउटा एक्सपिरियन्स थियो सो बी रेडी टु फेल ट्राई अगेन एन्ड फेल किनभने हाम्रो यो 2 इयर्सको जर्नीमा चाहिँ देयर वर सो मेनी टाइम्स राम्रो थिएन कतिपय कुराहरू एकदमै राम्रो थियो कतिपय सिचुएसनमा चाहिँ वी फेल्ड एन्ड देन वी अगेन लाइक हुन्छ नि हाम्रो चाहिँ त्यो सक्सेस अलिकति स्कलेट भयो इट वाज अल अबाउट टेकिङ रिस्क एट द एन्ड सो त्यति नै हो अनि थर्ड पोइन्टमा चाहिँ गेट रिड अफ डेड वेट एन्ड ओपन यर आर्म्स टु दोज हु इन्सपायर यु भनेको सो वेन यु डु बिजनेस एउटा कोट पनि छ मलाई इङ्ग्लिसमा एक्ज्याक्ट याद भएन तर जहिले पनि टपमा चाहिँ तिमी एक्लै हुन्छौ अरे क्या इट वाज समथिङ इट्स अलोन इट्स ओन्ली यु एट द टप अर समथिङ के छ होइन जहिले पनि तिमी चाहिँ एक्लै हुन्छौ अरे क्या सो अहिले चाहिँ कस्तो छ भन्दाखेरि आई थिङ्क इट इम्प्लिमेन्ट्स टु ब्लेक एन्ड आइसा एज वेल हामी चाहिँ कस्तो बिजनेसमा यस्तो बिजी हुन्छ कि हाम्रो सोसियल लाइफ हाम्रो फ्रेन्ड सर्कल्सहरू चाहिँ कति छुटिरहेको हुन्छ कि सो यु हेभ टु have that mindset of being alone आफूले एक्लै पनि बस्न सक्नुपर्छ अनि अर्को चाहिँ not everybody will support you not everybody will be there to cheer you up भनौँ न अनि आफूलाई चाहिँ कुनै मान्छे चाहिँ अलिकति मेरो आफ्नो पर्सनली होइन यसले चाहिँ मलाई हेल्प गरिरहेको छैन नट अ पर्सन अथवा कुनै एउटा मान्छेको माइन्डसेटले चाहिँ हेल्प गरिरहेको छैन भनेदेखि चाहिँ जस्ट लाइक just stay out of it and you focus on your goal भन्छु म त्यो सिचुएसनमा चाहिँ अनि आफ्नो अघि आई डोन्ट नो ब्लेक अर आइसा सेड दिस नेटवर्किङ चाहिँ अलिकति स्ट्रङ बनाउने अनि अलिकति आफूलाई कसले इन्सपायर गर्छ त्यो मान्छेहरूसँग चाहिँ एडभाइजहरू सिक गर्ने होइन अनि कसरी इन्सपिरेसन मिल्छ त्यो कुरामा चाहिँ ध्यान दिने आई हेभ दिस फ्रेन्ड उसले चाहिँ मलाई के भनेको थियो भने बिजनेस किन सुरु गरेको र लाइक यु हेभ टु फिनिस यर स्टडी फर्स्ट काइन्ड अफ यस्तो यस्तो कुराहरू हुन्थ्यो होइन तर इट वाज माई जर्नी एन्ड आई नो वाट आई वान्ट इट वाज हर जर्नी इट्स सी नोज वाट सी वान्ट्स होइन त्यो सबैजनाको एउटै हुँदैन सो या अगेन सपोर्ट गर्ने मान्छेहरूसँग चाहिँ यु निड टु हेभ अ भेरी क्लोज निड एउटा रिलेसनसिप किनभने यु विल निड यर मेन्टर एन्ड यु विल निड पिपल हु इन्सपायर यु एट सर्टेन पोइन्ट अफ टाइम एउटा जहिले पनि दिस इज अगेन अनदर कोट एक्ज्याक्टली कसले भनेको थाहा छैन तर एउटा यस्तो मोमेन्ट आउँछ कि लाइफमा बिजनेसमा अथवा आफ्नो एउटा पर्सनल लाइफमा पनि त्यो एरो पनि अगाडि जानलाई एकचोटि पछाडि ड्र्याग गर्नुपर्छ भन्छ नि एउटा त्यस्तो मोमेन्ट चाहिँ सबैको लाइफमा सबै बिजनेसम्यानको अथवा बिजनेस वुमनको लाइफमा आउँछ होइन त्यो पोइन्टमा चाहिँ आफू एकदमै स्ट्रङ भएर होइन दिस इज ओन्ली द हरल आई विल पास इट भनेर आफू स्ट्रङ भएर बस्यो भनेदेखि चाहिँ मजाले त्यो क्रसपछि चाहिँ बल्ल सक्सेस आउँछ सो द्याट्स वाट ह्यापन टु मी द्याट्स वाट ह्यापन टु यति इन्सुरेन्स एट वान पोइन्ट अफ टाइम नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लिज आई थिङ्क त्यो अलरेडी मैले भनिसकेँ होइन अनि अगेन यु विल बी ब्रोक फर अ वाइल भने जस्तै मैले त्यही जगल गरेको थिएँ जबमा भनेको थिएँ नि त्यही नै हो अनि या गेट रेडी टु बी एभ्रिथिङ फ्रम अ जेनेरेटर टु सिइओ हुन्छ नि आफ्नो एउटा कम्पनी भइसके पछाडि यु क्यान जस्ट बी सिइओ है म अर्डर मात्रै दिन्छु भन्ने हुँदैन यु हेभ टु क्लिन यु हेभ टु मप यु हेभ टु हुन्छ नि डु एभ्रिथिङ बाई यर सेल्फ होइन सो बी रेडी फर द्याट एज वेल त्यो सोसियल मिडियामा इन्स्टाग्राममा पुरा रोलेक्स गरी अनि ठुल्ठुलो कार हुन्छ नि एकदमै फ्यान्सी लाइफस्टाइल त्यस्तो चाहिँ हुँदैन यु हेभ टु वेकअप कहिले काहीँ 11-12 लेट नाइट 1-2 बजेसम्म पनि आफ्नो काम नसकिँदाखेरि 9 to 5 जस्तो मेरो काम सक्यो है भनेर म निस्किन पाउँदैन होइन सो यु हेभ टु बी रेडी फर द्याट टु अर्को स्लाइड प्लिज ओके सो स्टार्टअप र दुईवटा हुन्छ है बिजनेस आई मिन यो स्टार्टअप र नन स्टार्टअप भन्ने हुन्छ होइन ब्लेकले अघि सबै स्टार्टअपको बारेमा चाहिँ राम्रोसँग डिटेलमा दिनुभयो स्टार्टअप भनेको चाहिँ ओके पहिला म यो एक्सप्लेन गर्छु है त 9 out of 10 स्टार्टअप्स फेल होइन जहिले पनि 10वटामा चाहिँ 9वटा फेल हुन्छ एउटा मात्र सक्सेस हुन्छ 2 out of 10 न्यू बिजनेसेस फेल इन द फर्स्ट इयर अफ अपरेसन कुनै पनि बिजनेस चाहिँ सक्सेसफुल भयो भनेर 5 वर्षपछि मात्रै थाहा हुन्छ अनि कुनै पनि स्टार्टअप चाहिँ लाइक पछि लङ रनसम्म जान्छ कि जाँदैन भनेर थाहा हुनको लागि चाहिँ फर्स्ट फ्यु इयर्सबाट नै थाहा हुन्छ होइन अर्को स्लाइडमा चाहिँ म अलिकति त्यसको कम्पेरिजन भनिदिन्छु यो स्टार्टअप र नन स्टार्टअपको बारेमा चाहिँ अर्को स्लाइड प्लिज ओके नन स्टार्टअप अनि न्यू स्टार्टअप भन्ने हुन्छ है त सो नन स्टार्टअप भनेको चाहिँ जस्तै अब आइटी कन्सल्टेन्सी छ किनभने जस्तै आफूले फर्स्ट टाइम आइटी कन्सल्टेन्सी खोले पनि आइटी कन्सल्टेन्सी त कति धेरै हुन्छ जस्तै मैले इन्सुरेन्स बिजनेस खोलेँ पनि इन्सुरेन्स बिजनेस त त्यहाँनिर धेरै थियो होइन अब यसलाई चाहिँ मेरो स्टार्टअप बिजनेस भन्नलाई अलिकति मिलेन स्टार्टअप भनेको चाहिँ कस्तो भन्दाखेरि यु हेभ दिस आइडिया जस्तै सिसीले रोबोट बनायो होइन एकदमै समथिङ डिफ्रेन्ट खालको रोबोट बनायो एकदमै जिरो लेभलबाट उसले सबै कुराहरू आफैले प्रोग्राम गरेर बनायो भनेदेखि चाहिँ त्यसलाई चाहिँ स्टार्टअपमा काउन्ट गर्न सकियो अरू बिजनेसहरू जस्तै हेयर सलुन खोल्यौँ हामीले अथवा अर्को इन्सुरेन्स एजेन्सी आयो भनेदेखि त्यसलाई चाहिँ न्यू बिजनेसमा काउन्ट गर्छ न्यू बिजनेसको र स्टार्टअपको फेलियर अथवा सक्सेस रेसियो चाहिँ इक्वल हुँदैन सो आफ्नो प्यासन हेरेर आफूलाई केमा इन्ट्रेस्ट लाग्छ त्यो चाहिँ आफूले फिगर आउट गरेर स्टार्टअप गर्ने हो कि अथवा कुनै एउटा बिजनेस अपरेट गर्ने हो कि त्यो चाहिँ आफूले डिसाइड गर्नुपर्छ होइन यो हाम्रो आज सेमिनार चाहिँ एन्टरप्रेन्योरसिप र स्टार्टअपको बारेमा मोर फोकस थियो सो स्टार्टअपको लागि चाहिँ यु हेभ टु बिल्ड समथिङ जस्तै अब मेरो कम्पनीमा चाहिँ हामीलाई एउटा कस्टमर रिलेसनसिप म्यानेजमेन्ट एउटा सफ्टवेयर चाहिएको छ। अब मैले त्यो सफ्टवेयर चाहिँ हामीले डिजाइन गर्ने प्रोसेसमा छु। अब त्यो एउटा डिजाइन गर्ने प्रोसेस, त्यो प्रोजेक्ट चाहिँ स्टार्टअप भयो मेरो लागि। तर अब बिजनेस नै कम्प्लिटली एक्जिस्टिङ बिजनेसमै अब मैले इन्सुरेन्स एजेन्सी खोल्दाखेरि चाहिँ त्यो कम्प्लिटली स्टार्टअपमा चाहिँ काउन्ट गर्दैन। सो मोर स्टार्टअप आइडियाजको लागि ब्लेकसँग चाहिँ तपाईँले कन्ट्याक्ट गर्नुभयो हुन्छ। मोर अफ बिजनेसेस आइडियाजहरूको लागि चाहिँ कसरी बिजनेस रन गर्ने त्यो सबैको लागि चाहिँ आई थिङ्क आइसा एन्ड आई विल बी मोर आई मिन ब्लेकसँग पनि आइडिया होला, तर मेबी हामी दुईजनासँग कुरा गर्नुभयो भनेदेखि चाहिँ इट्स काइन्ड अलिकति आइडियाजहरू हामीले पनि सेयर गर्न सक्छौँ। सो आई थिङ्क यति नै हो आजको प्रेजेन्टेसनको लागि चाहिँ। अनि आई एम सो थ्याङ्कफुल सबैजनाको लागि यो प्लेटफर्म क्रिएट गर्नुभयो त्यसको लागि। अनि आई गट टु नो मोर अबाउट स्टार्टअप, किनभने मैले हिजो रिसर्च गरिरहेको थिएँ अनि ब्लेकले चाहिँ मोर इन्टु डिटेल्स गरेर एज अ प्रेजेन्ट गरेकोमा चाहिँ थ्याङ्क यू सो मच ब्लेक फर द्याट टु। मलाई चाहिँ अलिकति त्यसको लागि पनि आइडियाजहरू चाहिरहेको थियो। सो आई लभ क्वेसन्सहरू। तपाईँहरूसँग क्वेसन छ भनेदेखि चाहिँ इदर अहिले अथवा पछि तपाईँले मेसेज अथवा इमेल गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ है त। थ्याङ्क यू सो मच।
Thank you, Shraddha Di. That was a wonderful presentation. I personally am not very business-minded, but as a presentation, but I think I'm inspired and I have new ideas in my head already. So thank you all three speakers for your wonderful presentation. Misanga euta question say I think we got from Ojasvi. Ojasvi, if you want, you can turn on your microphone and you can ask the question. Otherwise, I can read out for you. Okay, I think Mane Padera sunaidinchu usko question. So she says, how hard is it to get into international marketing? I mean, when we are in a foreign land, how much is the struggle to get into reach of people there? How can we expand our international marketing being in the foreign land? So I think she's saying, as an F1 student, how can we start a business, in other words?
Okay, so कसैको लागि स्पेसिफिक क्वेसन हो कि कस्तो छ यो?
Ojasvi Thapaबाट आएको छ यो question. I think she's here in the meeting.
Whoever is comfortable, जसले answer गर्दा पनि हुन्छ. It's not directed to person.
See, I think Aisha and Blake can add मेरो पोइन्टमा त्यसपछि. So F1 भएको भएर चाहिँ maybe I could relate more to her भनेर I wanted to answer this question. So कस्तो हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि F1 भन्ने बित्तिकै इट्स भेरी ट्रु, हामीलाई एकदमै लिमिटेड अपर्च्युनिटिजहरू हुन्छ होइन। काम गर्नदेखि लिएर कुनै ठाउँमा इन्टर्नसिप मात्र गर्नु पऱ्यो भनेदेखि पनि देयर आर होल लट अफ प्रोसेस। जस्तै शिशिरले अथवा शिशिरको ठाउँमा कुनै एउटा अमेरिकन भयो भनेदेखि सिटिजनसिप भएको ग्रिन कार्डै भनौँ न भएको मान्छे भयो भने त्यो कम्पिटिसनमा चाहिँ अलिकति मोर अप्पर ह्यान्ड चाहिँ अर्को मान्छेको हुन्छ होइन। तर त्यो भन्दैमा F1को लागि चाहिँ अपर्च्युनिटी नै नहुने भन्ने चाहिँ हुँदैन होइन। अघि नै हामीले प्रोग्रामको स्टार्टमा आइसाले भने जस्तै नेटवर्किङ इज भेरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट। जस्तै मी बिङ F1 स्टुडेन्ट, म एकदमै नेटवर्कमा नआएको भएदेखि होइन मैले सो मेरो नेटवर्क भनेको आई नो आइसा, आई नो सुरज दाई, आई नो मिस्टर ब्लेक होइन। सो दिस इज हाउ आई गट इन्टु बिजनेस भनौँ न, लाइक अ वे भनौँ। सो त्यसको लागि चाहिँ आई थिङ्क यु हेभ टु कम आउट टु नेपाली कम्युनिटी भेरी फर्स्टमा त, अथवा नेपाली कम्युनिटी मात्र नभइकन हाम्रो स्कुलमा हुन्छ नि, हाम्रो कलेजमा देयर आर सो मेनी बिजनेस क्लबहरू हुन्छ, त्यसपछि अरू प्रोफेसरको थ्रुबाट होइन देयर आर सो मेनी वेज यु क्यान कनेक्ट टु पिपल। अनि मलाई चाहिँ पर्सनली कस्तो लाग्छ भन्दाखेरि जहिले पनि नेपाली कम्युनिटीमा चाहिँ खासै F1हरू आउन खोज्दैन, तर दिस इज वान अफ द बिगेस्ट मिस्टेक यु आर डुइङ भन्छु म चाहिँ। किनभने अलिकति आफू अगाडि नआएसम्म त्यो अपर्च्युनिटिजहरू चाहिँ आफूसम्म आइपुग्दैन कि। यु हेभ टु गो अराउन्ड, सिक अराउन्ड अपर्च्युनिटी कहाँनिर छ भनेर चाहिँ। जस्तै ओजस्वी होइन, उहाँले क्वेसन सोध्नुभएको, तपाईँलाई बिजनेस फिल्डमा आउनु छ भनेदेखि अबको 4-5 वर्षपछि त इदर वे यु विल ह्याभ यर पेपर भनौँ न, एउटा लिगली यहाँ बिजनेस सुरु गर्नको लागि। त्यसको लागि चाहिँ यु हेभ टु वर्क फ्रम अहिले नै, कसरी त्यो बिजनेस कसरी सुरु गर्ने, कसरी मार्केटिङमा आई मिन कसरी मार्केटिङ गर्ने, आफूले आफूलाई कसरी नेटवर्क बढाउने होइन। यु हेभ टु कम टु नेपाली सोसाइटी भनौँ, अथवा देयर आर सो मेनी अदर अर्गनाइजेसन यहाँनिर, त्यहाँनिर आएर आफ्नो नेटवर्क बढाउनु भयो हुन्छ। प्लस स्कुलमा पनि तपाईँले अलिकति सोसियली एक्टिभ हुनुभयो, क्लब्सहरू जोइन गर्नुभयो भनेदेखि द्याट्स अ भेरी गुड वे टु डु यर मार्केटिङ जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई चाहिँ।
I can add a little bit this much. मेरो dance schoolमा चाहिँ, so we offer Nepali classes, Nepali Bollywood, and also we offer ballet, hip hop, Zumba, salsa, all that stuff. So Nepali culture, I think you really need to understand the audience culture. Okay, just so I know for Hispanics that it's not gonna work out if I send them a online girl register, but that's not gonna work out. So each race को तिमी आफ्नो market भन्दा बाहिर जाने हो भने you need to understand their culture. You need to meet your audience where they are. तिमीले यहाँनेरि यसो गर्नु ल भन्यो भने they're not gonna do it, right? So तिमीले चाहिँ you need to make it so easy for them to get to that whatever you're trying to provide that to bato garo hune bittiki they're not gonna do it. Okay, so मैले अघि पनि यो presentation before we started I was telling Felicia and Sishir and normally the event manager that like for somebody to get on Teams and then do all of this stuff might be a little difficult for them versus Facebook Live that would have been like easy. Share notifications so you need to really meet your audience where they are. No matter what race, everybody needs insurance. No matter what race, everybody needs dance, self-care, meditation, yoga. To afno like priority but at the same time if you're able to show them this is why you should join, but it's up to you to make it easy for them. So no matter what culture, even though तिमी नेपाली भएर तिमीलाई हुन्छ नि अरु कल्चर त्यस्तो थाहा छैन भने पनि one way to find out is to get out of your house, right? To join organizations, we need to know them के उनीहरुको culture just like हामीलाई अब हामीले कति जनाले beef खादैन हैन अब कोही बाहिरको मान्छेले आएर हामीलाई beef patty बेच्न खोज्यो भने that's not going to work out, right? त्यो त उनीहरुको bad हुन्छ नि त. Just like that you need to understand where your audience is अनि उनीहरुको background चाहिँ के हो के. So बाहिर जाने मार्केटमा तिमी बाहिर आफ्नो कल्चर भन्दा आफ्नो कम्युनिटी भन्दा बाहिर जाने हो भने त you need to meet them where they are. That's as simple.
I have a quick question.
Go ahead.
Okay. So the other day I was discussing about one of the, not directly related to startup, but I was discussing with one of my lab mate about an idea that came into my mind, and I was just sharing it like, how do you get, he was a little senior, I was just sharing with him like, how do you guys deal with when this kind of a situation comes in that hospital setting. Then he kind of looked like maybe this thing has not been explored so far, but this is something we can think of. And I was discussing with him about this idea for one of my class, where we were supposed to present our idea for a product development. And as I was discussing with him, we were in the same class, and he happened to like tell the same idea that I was telling him. So it is kind of an intellectual theft. How common is that, and how common is that thing around the world, around like current scenario? And how do you deal with like not having those things being public? Like I cannot even say like that's my idea because I don't have any return or a verbal thing. But that is something like I was kind of surprised. Oh God! At daytime I was talking about this idea to him, and he is presenting that idea to the professor.
I think there are two ways to deal with this. One of them is Blake's way. He helped a person who, worked in his office and did the same thing. So, utali nicer boy, right? A lot of people do sign, like Miro School Malte, whenever I hire teachers, I sign this agreement saying they cannot open another studio within 10-15 miles around my studio. Right, so you always, हाम्रो नेपालीहरूको culture-मा चाहिँ we're so behind on paperwork. क्या? That's such a bad thing because so many people have really lost their businesses because they didn't have proper paperwork, right? So अनि कस्तो पनि लाग्छ भने मलाई I don't know को बोलेको थियो हैन, since you were the one who originated with that idea, you're always going to be better than the person that stole it from you. Yeah, does that make sense? So तिम्रो थियो त्यो idea so उसले अब present गर्यो रे हैन, that's okay, let him present. But remember that you were the creator of that idea, okay? So तिमी उसँग compete नगर, तिमी आफूसँग compete गर के हुन्छ नि, how can I make my idea better? How can I turn this into something? That would be my suggestion. But stealing ideas is very, very common, just so you know.
Idea to people in a sense, like you get information from them, but seems like there is more of intellectual theft these days, which I would say that is an intellectual theft. Is you share the idea, and that person is like copying your idea and presenting, telling that you created that idea. But I realize that
I would,
maybe like
yeah.
yes,
I would say like unless you document it, same like what Isa said, right? Unless you document it, there's no way to get around that. My one of the recommendation that I can give is like, let's say you have tremendous idea, just it's just around $200-300 to register a business. Just do it, um, and then now you'll be protected with that. So
Right.
yeah.
I think orko idea पनि अब I don't know कतिको legal हो होइन, this is just a thought that I have. So if you write it down, like you notes or something, I think Mark Zuckerberg को पनि यस्तै के भएको थियो होइन, अनि Facebook को पनि later on they ended up making some share, right? So कस्तो echo, right? Is that okay? So maybe like in notes मा पनि लेखेर, because notes मा त त्यो date हुन्छ नि त, initiated that one. So maybe you could do something like that. But always know that if you came up with that idea, you're going to be better than whoever else stole your idea. Okay? So think that motivation. And I'm sorry that this happened, but this happens to all of us. So maybe next time, careful. Maybe you don't share your idea. Maybe that could be a precaution that you can take, or you can register it and then or register whatever, like it's any paper document you share it with somebody and let them know like not so right so at least said that. So later on, if they happen to steal it, I did tell them legally, like contract the verbal contract. So maybe you could do that, but it's very common.
I would say यदि आफ्नो एकदमै त्यो if you think it's very great idea अनि यो चाहिँ फ्युचरमा if you're planning to do, like I said, आफ्नो advisor अथवा आफ्नो mentor बाहेक अरूसँग चाहिँ I wouldn't prefer sharing those ideas. मेरो आफ्नो चाहिँ there are few people I share my ideas with, त्यो चोर्नबाट बचाउनको लागि. So I think you can do that पछि गएर चाहिँ. You need to be very careful कोसँग के share गर्ने भन्ने कुरामा चाहिँ.
Yeah.
I have a follow-up question, this May. Earlier, you all mentioned how working in team is much better. तर भर्खरको क्वेसनमा अलि कन्ट्रडिक्ट हुन्छ. If I am looking for other teammates who share the same idea as me, I need to network, and then how do I know I'm networking with the right people? Suppose if I have an idea and okay, suppose I want to start a business and it's a particular idea. Now I want to look for 2-3 more teammates who have the same idea so that I can collaborate with them. But on the other hand, this is also like Bakar Bhaneko thing that if I get betrayed in a way, how to choose the right people to network with.
I think that really depends on your capability of reading people. Just so if you don't feel a vibe with them, I wouldn't share my ideas. Most of the times, whenever you network, you don't wanna blur out everything. Business ko euta kura ke garnu parcha bhanda ni kam bolne dherai sunne garnu parcha ke. Listen to their ideas first. के हुन्छ नि उनीहरूले जब तिमीहरूको same Suraj uncle sister whenever you have the same motive, just to मेरो dance school के भएको थियो भन्दाखेरि there was this guy who was claiming to be my partner. जब कि उसले हुन्छ नि like Shraddha said, you have to be from CEO to little janitor पनि हुन पर्छ. I would clean the restrooms at Mandala. Yeah. So but उसले जब same vibe, same दिँदैन नि, your partner, whoever you choose, needs to be as determined, as focused, as committed as you are. Okay, but I एक घण्टा class सिकाएर जाने मान्छे is not your partner. Okay, so तिमीले त्यो vibe चाहिँ एकदमै बुझ्नु पर्छ के मान्छेसँग. अनि like I said, listen more, talk less. Business, so whenever you go for networking, listen to what they have to say. And then you reach out, but you still don't tell them everything. You kind of give them a vibe, or you meet them separately for a coffee or something. And it is especially more once you get to know them, and then only you share your ideas. Okay? But like I said, always document it. Okay? Maybe whenever you go meet them, maybe you can type up a proposal for them. Okay? So that it's there that Polisha created this first. Then later on, if they happen to steal your idea, you still have the document with you.
So I wanted to add something, Esma. जस्तै आइसाले भने जस्तै भाइब चेक गर्नुपर्छ भन्ने कुरामा चाहिँ बिफोर मिटिङ माई बिजनेस पार्टनर सुरज दाई आई ह्याड कपाल अफ अरू मान्छेहरू पनि जोसँग चाहिँ देयर वाज काइन्ड हुन्छ हाम्रो कुरा भइरहेको थियो बिजनेस गर्ने भनेर अनि आई वाज चेकिङ भाइब्सहरू देयर वर अराउन्ड 2-3 मोर पिपल्स जसलाई चाहिँ स्टुडेन्ट स्टार्ट गर्न मन थियो अनि लाइक आइसाले भने जस्तै त्यो एउटा भाइब चाहिँ पहिल्यै थाहा हुन्छ कि सो वेन आई मेट सुरज चाहिँ विदिन 15 and 20 minutes अफ टक वी वर लाइक ओके लेट्स डु दिस भन्ने खालको भएको थियो होइन सो इट्स अल अबाउट यर केपेबिलिटी अफ हुन्छ नि त्यो भाइब चेक गर्ने अब कसरी मान्छेहरूसँग डिल गर्ने अनि कस्तो खालको मान्छेसँग डिल गर्ने अब त्यो आइडियाजहरू चाहिँ यहाँबाट एउटा सबैजनालाई लेसन के भयो भने यो क्वेसनबाट चाहिँ आई थिङ्क इट्स अ भेरी गुड क्वेसन अब चाहिँ आफ्नो आइडिया सेयर गर्नुभन्दा अगाडि लेट्स अल डकुमेन्ट द्याट फर्स्ट
And yeah, last recommendation, maybe you can, if your idea is great, you can carry around NDA with you. So, with our idea share NDA sign and share you can also do that. That's something you can do. But right team formation, the magic number is 3. The team found one of the guy has to be visionary. Future someone आफ्नो product problem को right fit हेर्न सक्ने. The second guy has to be hustler, जसले चाहिँ एकदम मेहनत गर्न सक्ने, जे पनि गर्ने बिजनेसमा हैन. And the third guy has to be hacker, भनेको कुनै बिजनेस कोअपरेसनहरु चाहिँ effectively hack गरेर सजिलो पाराले गर्न सक्ने. So that's the magic combination.
Thank you for all the answers.
I have a question. So, हामी अहिले कोरोना पेन्डेमिकमा छ होइन, so it's the worst thing that every business can see, even like multi-billion-dollar business, like they struggled, and like being like entrepreneurs and like being through this worst situation, like how did you cope up with it? I'd seen Aisha Didi doing online dance classes. I haven't been able to see, like maybe we have done something else. Like what would you like to suggest someone who is trying to do business and someone who might get into something like this? And what have you learned from this scenario?
I personally think COVID has actually helped my business. Because I had been working since 2018 every day. So first of all, I got a break. So that was very nice, right? On I had never thought about going online with Mandala. Okay? And then after COVID hit, now we have about 35 students from out of state. We have students from Virginia, California, Colorado, Ohio, Wisconsin. So whatever happens for a reason. For Mandala and for myself, that was a very true thing because COVID got that so let me go back to my 2 studios, right? So I opened my first studio in Hearst, and the second location within a year, I think, I opened another one in Irving. So Mandala was doing really good. And Hearst location, I made a 2 years lease because first business too, and I wasn't sure how it was gonna go, right? So I signed a 2-year lease, and depending on how it goes, I'll extend my lease. And so 2018, I signed a lease, and 2019 20 Jan ma. I was like, oh, this is going great. Like landlord, let's extend the lease 5 years, blah, 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 right? And landlord ko bad se ulle business bechna la rahe usko complex. So he didn't really give me much attention. And that for me was so good because I didn't extend my lease. Okay? So December 2020 ko pay gari hai na. But 5 years ko extend gareko bhayo ta we don't know when COVID is gonna end or when people are gonna start coming back, right? So mero duita locations 10 minutes away thi, okay? So I got this opportunity to close my Hearst location and I opened another one in Keller, which is about 30 minutes away. A lot of my clientele are from Keller area. Okay? So when COVID got that mero business, Hearst business banda bhayo, that was an opportunity for me to expand even more. Okay? If that makes sense. So COVID got that dhere jana ko kina I think affected bhayo bhanda unaruko just a dance school ab mero 150 kids bhayo online ma 100 jana kids bhayo tara online were the body. So COVID sabai businesses are affected for those who have, luckily we have this government just let's say SBA grant, women running all of the services are so like I said, those who applied, apply apply कोभिडले टोटली बिजनेसलाई आउटरन गरेको चाहिँ एज फार एज आई नो भेरी थोरै छ क्या मेरो डान्स स्कुललाई चाहिँ इट हेल्प्ड so much. Like it showed me a whole new concept of online school. Okay? Not just dance, but about life skills, about tutoring, about art. So, mero afno personal usma I liked it. I think COVID did me a favor, if anything.
मेरो केसमा पनि सिमिलर नै हो कोभिड पछाडि चाहिँ अब किनभने टेक्निकली हेर्दाखेरि त सबै बिजनेसहरू अलिकति डाउनफल गएको जस्तो देखिन्छ होइन तर यता हाम्रो सिनारीमा पनि कोभिड पछि चाहिँ एक त अलिकति आफ्नो लागि स्पेस पनि भयो फ्यु मन्थ्स चाहिँ हामी सबैजनाले आफ्नो पर्सनल टाइम पनि पायो होइन अलिकति मेन्टल पिस पनि भयो अनि आफूलाई चाहिँ के चाहिएको छ भनेर प्रायोरिटाइज गर्न पनि सजिलो भयो अनि अब यो बिजनेस चाहिँ मेरो प्रायोरिटी हो है भनेर आफ्नो माइन्डसेट चाहिँ त्यसमा लगाइसके पछाडि हामी अब सबैजनाले आई थिङ्क जुम त्यस पछाडि नै लर्न गऱ्यौँ होइन जुम भयो फोन कल थ्रुबाट बिजनेसहरू अनि लाइक आई सेड कोभिडले चाहिँ हाम्रो बिजनेसमा पनि इट हेल्प मी अ लट हुन्छ नि अलिकति त्यहाँबाट कोभिड पछाडि नै ग्रोथ भएको भएर आई वुडन्ट से कोभिड वाज द्याट ब्याड फर मी पर्सनली मेरो लागि चाहिँ
इन माई केस मेरो चाहिँ मैले कोभिड सुरु हुने बित्तिकै मेरो कम्पनीमा चाहिँ एउटा इनिसिएटिभ ल्याएको थिएँ 0% मार्जिन इनिसिएटिभ भन्ने अनि त्यो होल पिरियडमा चाहिँ स्मल बिजनेसेसहरूलाई चाहिँ हामीले चाहिँ कुनै पनि लाइक प्रफिट मार्जिन नराखिकन नै वी अपरेटेड अनि बिकज अफ द्याट हाम्रो कम्पनीको अपरेटिङ कस्टहरू चाहिँ सबै वी फुलफिल त्यो इनिसियल 6 मन्थ चाहिँ अनि पछि गएर चाहिँ हाम्रो कम्पनीको सल्युसन्सहरू चाहिँ अरू कम्पनीहरूभन्दा धेरै चिपर छ अनि कोभिड-19ले गर्दा त हामीलाई चाहिँ कसो हेल्प भयो भने अरू ठुलो बिजनेसेसहरूको चाहिँ सल्युसनहरू तिनीहरू लिन सकेन छ नि हामी चाहिँ तिनीहरूको लाइक कम्पिटेटिभ प्रडक्ट भयो नि त सो एक्चुली हाम्रो चाहिँ सेल्सहरू झनै हाइली ग्रो भयो बिकज कोभिड-19 सो
opportunity grab गर्ने रहेछ कि guys. I think all three of us went through this. अब स्मल बिजनेसेसलाई फेरि अर्को पनि के छ भन्दाखेरि पिपल सपोर्ट स्मल बिजनेसेस क्या उनीहरूले कोर्पोरेट भन्दा पनि लेट्स हेल्प दिज पिपल आउट भन्ने अहिले स्पेसली कोभिडले गर्दाखेरि कतिजनाको त्यस्तो छ क्या अपर्च्युनिटी देख्यो भने ग्राब गर्ने हो इजी एज द्याट एनी अदर
I have another quick question.
What's up?
Let me turn on my camera so that we can connect more. Being an aspiring engineer, to be engineer, I would say, there's always something going on my mind. Personally, there are classes or projects on side, but there's always some ideas going on my mind. Like, what if I could develop this product? Or when I hear some other like patients or some other stories, then then the idea came on my mind. Like, what if I bring this idea into a product? So at one point of time, I was given an opportunity to present my idea to an executive meeting. I was so like hopeful that this idea could be developed into a product, but the executive meeting said that there is no market value for this idea. So I was like, that idea is on my mind, on not paper, but still there since there is no market value. I'm not sure to let it expand or just to let it be there. What do you suggest?
Can I chip into this? So Shark Tank show that's all.
Yeah.
Have you watched it? So Shark Tank the ring doorbells honey. You've seen it around the houses. So त्यसको मान्छे गाह्रै छ के and then all of these experts who were there, your investors, said, oh, this is a dead industry. Oh, then everybody talked negative about it. Okay? That dude went back, got a loan from the bank, and then renamed his product into Ring Bell. $1 billion. Just Amazon na matra. Okay? So, हामी यहाँ बसेर बोलिरहेछौँ नि I don't know what product. तिम्रो engineering product त मेरो माइन्डले ग्राब पनि गर्न नसक्ने हुन सक्छ क्या so कसैको आइडिया होइन नि त यो त सङ्गीताको आइडिया हो नि त so you need to fight for your idea क्या तिमीले अरूले नो भने बित्तिकै ला मेरो प्रोडक्ट काम गर्दैन भन्यो भने त्यो there are a lot of people who are not going to see what you see yeah? So you just need to believe in yourself त्यो रिङको मान्छेले if he had given up because Mark Cuban said sorry this is not going to work it would have never happened so always fight for your idea भएन भने पनि it's okay क्या हुन्छ नि तिमीले भएन भने पनि you're gonna मेरो first job McDonald's मा थियो के हैन I am so glad for that job because everything I know I got from that job के मैले त्यसपछि UNT मा काम गरे हस्पिटलमा काम गरे स्कुलमा काम गरे I grabbed some stuff their first job McDonald's taught me so much more than all of these other jobs के so तिमीले don't feel like was that you who said तिम्रो ideas steal गरेको थियो product
Yeah, that was me.
So कसैले तिम्रो idea steal गर्यो or कसैले तिम्रो product like चाहिँ no this is not gonna who cares you do it like means you do you भयो पनि भयो भएन पनि do something else
Yeah.
Adding on that, होइन त्यसमा चाहिँ I think अघि हामीले अघि न कुरा गरे जस्तै रिस्क लिन सक्नु पर्यो एउटा लिप अफ फेथ अनि एट द एन्ड यु वन्ट ह्याभ रिग्रेट अब भोलि गएर चाहिँ मेरो यो चाहिँ प्रोजेक्ट मेरो फाइलमा थियो वाट इफ आई हेभ डन द्याट भन्ने त्यो एउटा सिचुएसन चाहिँ नआओस् 100% चान्सेस हुँदैन केही कुरामा पनि सक्सेस हुने तर एटलिस्ट यु ट्राइड भन्ने चाहिँ हुन्छ एट द एन्ड त्यही भएर आई वुड सजेस्ट गिभ इट अ ट्राई एकचोटि
मेरो सजेसन चाहिँ possibly maybe 20 interview like 25 देखि 100 potential customer and try to see like जो ideal customers हुन्छ नि त्यो bucketमा try to interview यदि कसैले like if 100 सबै 100 people if they say hey this might not work possibly might not work हैन मेरो चाहिँ त्यो recommendation हुन्छ अब स्टार्टअपहरुमा चाहिँ usually every startupमा सबले त्यो problem र solution को fit निकाल्ने बेलामा चाहिँ they always interview the customers.
Right. मलाई यो आइडिया चाहिँ राम्रो लाग्यो लाइक सर्वे फ्यु अफ योर क्लाइन्ट्स पोटेन्शियल क्लाइन्ट त्यो भयो भने आई थिङ्क बेटर आइडिया हुन्छ होला
Yeah, maybe I should keep that in my mind next time.
Or you can share it with us, you know. All right, guys, I have to bounce now. I have another meeting. It was wonderful talking to all of you guys. If also like questions up, Aisha is my name. Do send me a message, and then everybody take care. Bye, Uncle. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I think we are almost at the end of the webinar. Just gonna open up for a few more questions if there are any.
I have one question. I don't know if Break Tide mentioned it in like a conference that I attended. I think it told about O1 visa or something. Like, could you go over it and like where? I know it's gonna be a lot to answer right now, but like where is a good resource for that? O1 visas.
Actually, I'm in F1, right? Just like the other speaker. I'm in F1 too. But I would say like if you have great idea, potentially if you can get enough investment, and maybe EB1, maybe something like that will work. And if you have multinational company, maybe I think EB2 हुन्छ होला हैन त्यो चाहिँ executiveहरुलाई पनि apply गर्न मिल्छ के त्यो particular visa. So potentially those visa might work. अनि Nepaleseहरुलाई चाहिँ there's limited this much resources, but no matter what visa you have, if you have SSN, you can start a business, no problem. The only thing you have to be aware of is legally stand on, right? You cannot be in operating position. Owner huna pauncha haina, but you cannot operate it. So legally, but you can always be like that passive owner. You can do it, but you can't let the government know.
So thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions? I don't think we have any more questions. Thank you so much, all the speakers. Thank you, all the listeners for joining us. It was a wonderful, wonderful webinar. I feel so happy that I could learn so much from you all. Thank you. Any final words from the speakers? Bliktai or Shraddha, do you add anything?
Well, I'd like to thank everybody, Sabjana, like Sandita and everybody. Thanks for inviting me here. And it was my pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's very good talking to all of you. Questions are एकदमै राम्रो थियो कति कुरा चाहिँ मैले पनि लर्न गर्न पाएँ and I think that's the thing we do as a team. अनि NSA को यो टिम चाहिँ एकदमै एनर्जेटिक लाग्यो. प्रिन्स भाइको टाइममा पनि it was very energetic. I think यो सबै यो स्पिकर सिरिजहरु त्यहाँबाट स्टार्ट
Like
I
it
was
has been an hour, and like one more than an hour. I've been म यो कारमा छु अनि मलाई म ड्राइभ गर्न पाएको छैन त्यसको सुन्न
yeah,
रमाइलो भइरहेछ
right. Thank you so much. एकदमै यस्तो यस्तो सेमिनार्सहरू गरिराख्यो भनेदेखि आई थिङ्क नेपाली स्टुडेन्टहरूको लागि चाहिँ मोर फ्रुटफुल हुन्छ अनि थ्याङ्क यू सो मच फर अर्गनाइजिङ दिस थ्याङ्क यू एभ्री वान
Thank you, Shraddha. Thank you, Bliktai. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. This was our first webinar speaker series for spring 2021, and we'll have a lot more to. We have upcoming webinars as well for this month and the following months this semester. So please keep yourselves updated. Follow our pages on Instagram, Facebook, and we will see you guys again. Thank you so much. Bye.
थ्याङ्क यू
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Prinsa. Bye, everyone.
अब चाहिँ घर जान पाएँ